All right, guys, I am live. It's Tim O'Connor. I am a candidate for Senate District 51. Guys, you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again. Senate District 51 is the size of Connecticut, square footage, square miles. I am ready to bring service back to government, and I'm ready to serve the people of Senate District 51. And guys, I want to foster in a rebirth of what we call economic opportunity in upstate New York. We guys, you guys know the people that have made their lives here. You guys know that kids are leaving, that taxes are too high, that we are overregulated. And guys, we're underpaid, man. We underpay our town boards. We underpay our county reps. We underpay these guys. This job is tough. So let's just shoot that out there, right? I see we don't have a lot of people yet, so I'm just going to pop this one right off. All right, guys, when our county reps are underpaid, they come up with fancy ideas like hiring a county manager. I'm going to tell you that is going to be a problem. If they succeed in hiring a county manager, county managers create bureaucracy. They take one step back from listening to us. And guys, that's a problem. All right. Guys, if you're here and you want to shout out, or if you're here and you want to talk about what you're having to offer to Senate District 51, give me a comment over here. Just my Friday night popping off about politics. And I got some things I want to say, but I want a few more people in the lobby before I get going. So I'll start off with welcoming Justin Amash to the Libertarian Party. I think that's a great opportunity for us to talk about the fact that a lot of us are already libertarians. Okay, we can go back to that Tea Party movement back in 2009, 2010. You guys went to the rallies. I was there. We had a blast. We had hope, right? We had hope. So Justin Amash came aboard, and so it's great. Okay. And if you like Justin Amash, that's great. I like Justin Amash. I wasn't impressed with his vote to ignore what you and I understand as evidence, okay? But and we'll talk about Trump. Like, I'm not a Trump fan, guys. He's Trump, man. I don't know. Am I going to vote for him? Probably. I'm going to vote for Judge Gray and Larry Sharpe. That's my hope. But guys, what Justin Amash brings to the party is recognition. He brings a reality and the recognition that a lot of us already are libertarians. So he's going to also offer us the opportunity to take a look at what the Libertarian Party is already offering. You got your Justin Hornberger, and I know a lot of you guys would like him. Adam Kokesh, a lot of you guys would like him. My man, Dan Taxation is Theft Berman. There's an intellectual argument that you can't win when it comes down to taxation is theft. Adam Kokesh is the local guy. Justin Hornberger wants to shake everything up. But then we get to the judge and Larry Sharpe, and especially Larry Sharpe. Larry Sharpe, guys, he brought new life to the Libertarian Party. He's got my respect. He's got my admiration. And guys, I don't admire people. That's not my thing. That's not our thing. But Larry Sharpe does a great job. He puts on a good show. He has conversations like, I mean, when you hear him talk, all of a sudden you realize you're not insane anymore, right? Things start making sense. There's people that think like you. So guys, I got a question for you. If the government could just print $3 trillion for the next quarter, why do we even got to pay taxes at all? I mean, think about it. They can just make money out of nothing. So we're in a mess. We're in a crisis. This crisis has, as you guys saw in the news, we want to give props to a Shelley Luther. Okay. Shelley Luther down in Texas opened up her hair salon, and she made news by opening up her hair salon, by not apologizing to a judge who demanded that she Well, guys, when you demand an apology, you're kind of a creep anyway. All right, let's be honest. If you earn an apology from someone, that's one thing. But if you demand an apology from someone, there's something wrong with you. Okay, that's not the way to operate. That's not the way to go about life. So anyway, Shelley Luther opens up her hair salon a little bit early, gets bopped in jail by an angry judge, and I think we can all agree that that's not what America is all about. Um, so she gets bopped in jail. She stands her ground, and the governor of Texas rewrites his executive order. Straight up says this order, this COVID crisis is not an excuse to jail people who don't do exactly what you say. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that in our state. But anyways, I want to give a shout out to Shelley Luther. I think she made an impact on the national news by standing her ground. And that's a big deal to all of us, okay? Um, Civil disobedience can work, guys. We got to be polite, we got to be respectful, and we got to do it in the right way. Um, well, I'm starting to see people come into the lobby. Let's put this out there. If you can share my Senate page with your friends, that's going to be awesome. All right, we're going to. Yes. Yes. My granddaughter is in the room. Awesome. Anyway, guys, if we can drive people to my Senate page, if we can share my Senate page, if we can get people to go there, that would be fantastic. We want to do some advertising down the road. We want to make some things happen. And the more people that like my Senate page now, it's going to amplify my attempts at explaining to other people how to vote for me when it comes time to vote for me. So all organically grown, we have over 775 likes. That is a great start. But we could do better, right? We get a few more people there. We kind of make things happen. We really make some noise. And that would be a great thing. So I've got this little bit of I got this little I got this little bit of script here, and I got my granddaughter coming in and helping me out with the broadcast. I love it. So, as you guys know, last Friday I was talking about food security, and I was talking about how we can help Senate District 51 have an impact on the future. And guys, nothing I like better than having a freezer full of beef. Nothing I like better than having a freezer full of food. And so that again, I want to suggest as strongly as I possibly can that you reach out to your neighbors that are growing beef and they're growing pork and see if you can do something to help them out and fill your freezer with food. Because if we start doing that, we can start having an impact on the future of upstate New York. I think that's a good idea. So guys, one other thing I want to talk about, like in order of business. All right. The Libertarian Party in Otsego County is going to have a meeting on Sunday night. It's going to be at 7:00. We're going to do it by Zoom, but I know a lot of you guys have signed up for the Libertarian Party, and I'd love to have you attend. Hey, Ben Levinson, what's up with you, man? So if you want to be a part of what we're trying to do, and I'm going to talk more about what we're trying to do, okay? Join that meeting, especially you guys like Warren and Shelley and Keto. You guys sign up. Come to that meeting. The LPNY acting director is going to try to pop in and say a few words for us. And look, it's not going to be a real official, officious meeting where we bore each other with, pedantic stuff. We're going to have a quick talk. We're going to talk about my Senate campaign. We're going to talk about what the goals of the Libertarian Party are in New York. And that's an important discussion to have, and it's going to be fun. It'll last about an hour. So if you guys get a Zoom invitation from me, because I know that you've converted to the Libertarian Party, and to the libertarians that are already in the party, let's have a little get together Sunday night via Zoom. All right, and just be looking for that. All right, so guys, one other thing I got to ask you for is the likes and the reactions for this video, the shares. We're trying to make an impact, and I think actually we're going to talk about the impact we may have had already. All right, and this is going to be interesting because first of all, guys, some of you may have defected from your existing party, which honestly, if we want to get our politicians to respond to us, because they don't respond to us, people are done with this quarantine. You're right, Chuck Young. Our politicians haven't listened to us for decades in upstate New York. They don't want to understand why people are leaving. They don't want to know the reasons. And guys, that means they're not listening to us because we've told them why, right? We've told them that taxes are too high. We've told them that regulations are too pervasive. We've told them this. That doesn't change a thing for these guys. So, guys, a possible impact we might have had, you might have seen one of my competitors reach out to the governor and suggest that the governor opens up car dealerships. And guys, listen to me. You car guys that are going back to work, I think it's great. We should be back to work, okay? So this isn't a slam at you. This isn't a slam at the car dealerships. But I want to tell you that his argument, my competitor's argument, was, well, car dealerships really contribute to sales tax revenue. And it's like, I don't know, man. I didn't hear anything about people that are having a hard time feeding their families. Did you? Maybe I missed it, man. If I missed it, put it up there. I'll take the hit for that. All right. So people are having a hard time feeding their families. People don't want to be on unemployment. Okay. They want to make a living. What we do is who we are. And that's okay. Right? That's a good thing. So go to bat for all of us. Go to bat for people that want to style people's hair. Go to bat for the guy that wants to fix your cell phone in the mall. All right. Go to bat for that guy too. And I'm not sure that we should ask permission from the governor for anything. If we have a good plan that keeps our people safe, let's keep our people safe. And guys, so one more thing in the news this week. All right. 66% of the new hospital admissions regarding COVID-19, regarding the coronavirus, guys, those are people that were social distancing and staying at home. So look, that's unfortunate. This disease is real, but nobody promised you weren't going to get it. So do we destroy our economy? Do we destroy our ability to interact with each other? I think it's a fair question, guys. Excuse me. Only the state knows what's good for you. Hang on, I forgot about this. I can pop comments up on the screen. So we're gonna do with the what's up, Ben? Chuck Young. People are done with this quarantine. They are. We're gonna go with Jeff Klein, right? Only the state knows what's good for you. I don't remember signing up to live in fear, guys. I don't enjoy people telling me that I'm selfish because I want to go back to work. I don't enjoy people telling me that because I want to serve my neighbors that I am taking some sort of risk, like that you're taking some sort of risk, that your interactions on your personal level are somehow increasing someone's risk. Not when all they have to do, people are staying home and getting this thing, guys. It's highly contagious. It's very dangerous. Like, I'm not trying to minimize any of those sorts of things, but 66% of the new hospitalizations were from people following the rules. I don't have to be a statistics expert. I don't have to be a scientist to understand what we're really talking about there. We are not going to be able to prevent people from getting this forever. We're not without radically changing everything and making people hide in their houses. The promise was never that you wouldn't get COVID. The promise was that we wouldn't overrun the hospitals. And regardless, and with all due respect to the folks down in the city, and I know you're going through something different than we are, our hospitals weren't overrun. We destroyed our hospital's revenues here, guys. There's people suffering, and good, they're catching up on it, okay? But there's people suffering with what they're calling elective surgeries. Like, that means that people can't walk. That means their knee is so messed up that they can't even walk. That's an elective surgery. People are suffering because we canceled all these elective surgeries, guys. Um, so we're bringing them back. That's a good thing. One thing I forgot to mention, guys, Cuomo agreed with my competitor that we should open car dealerships because of tax revenue. Guys, I don't know if you feel like me, man, but that's I don't know. That's not what I want from my government, man. So his competitor, or my other competitor, says that we need to wait for experts to tell us what to do. And I'm not sure who the experts are that he's waiting to tell us. Yeah, but I'm not going to put that one up, Ben. But yeah, I'd like to see somebody respond to that. So he's waiting for experts to tell him or us how to do this. And guys, like, COVID's dangerous. I want to keep harping on that. We need to recognize that there's some real risk there. But we also need to recognize that we have some real rights in this situation. And those rights are seriously being abridged. The longer this goes on, the more those rights are abridged, right? Bill Gates, that's going up there, Colleen. Thank you very much. Bill Gates, I'm going to get to reimagine in education because that is a big subject. So, yeah, guys, we got one guy that wants us all to wait for experts to tell us how to live our lives. And it's like, I don't know, man. Cuomo acted like he was an expert, and unfortunately his expertise really harmed a lot of old folks, man. When we're talking on the order of the total death rate from COVID, a quarter to a fifth of the people that died from COVID were people in nursing homes. And we all saw the news. We all know what happened there. This guy did not protect people that were vulnerable to COVID. The science was there. The evidence was there, guys. It was in other countries before it got here. We knew that old people were vulnerable. And a lot of my friends and people that I know want to pretend that this guy is the expert. I don't know, man. That doesn't sound like expertise to me. How about you? Anybody think that Cuomo is a coronavirus expert? Mr. Most Eligible Bachelor in New York State, Mr. Single and Ready to Mingle, Mr. Covid King Cuomo. Anyway, and I'd like to point out that Cuomo agreed with my competitor that we should let car dealerships open up because they generate tax revenue. Yeah, nothing about people that want to feed their family. Yes, thank you, Colleen. I'm going to show that one too. Nothing about people that want to feed their family, guys. Nothing about people that want to get back to work, because who we are is what we do, and what we do is who we are. So look, guys, I always want to talk about people that are doing the hard work and have done the hard work of staying in upstate New York. And there's a lot of us. And we're here and we're doing the job. And I want to talk particularly to my millennial friends and my Gen Zers, guys. You guys can have an impact on the future. You can have an impact on the economic opportunity that we're hoping to bring back to upstate New York. And one of the ways I want you guys to think about doing it is there's all sorts of local elections where you can get involved, you can help your community, and you can help people make better decisions about taxation, about how to serve your community, and how to keep government close to home, guys. I every day look at how we are begging the state for state aid when it comes to our schools. We're answering every administrative demand that they put on us, and our budgets get busted. Okay, guys, right there, Jesse Petrosky. Yeah, how long can we deal with it? And guys, I'm in it to win it, but we have to fight it first. We have to take the time to fight this power, okay? This top down, let's put $15 billion or 50 or $100 billion into a Buffalo Billions project, right? Or $15 billion into a movie studio in Syracuse. And guys, none of that makes sense. Even take a look at Oneonta, New York, little old Oneonta, New York, getting $10 million for a downtown revitalization project. And they give $480,000, whatever, $410,000. Doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. That number is huge to a restaurant because it was going to anchor the whole downtown and bring people in. Guys, top-down economics doesn't work. Go drive past Bomber's Burrito Bar. And guys, this is no slam on the people that work there. My understanding, what I've been told is they were good people. I went there. The food was good. The service was professional. That's not the issue, right? When the government gives away huge sums to people, to businesses, to bribe them to come here, all they're thinking about is the bottom line. And if the bottom line don't work, they leave. And that's what happened with Bombers. Okay, it's a chain restaurant. They're gone. All right, that's $500,000 of a $10 million grant. Gone, just gone. I don't know. Give a couple $100 to every person in town and see what they choose. Right? See what they choose. See who they choose to be successful before you start handing out money like that. Excuse me. But the bottom line is that program itself is a problem, okay? Lower our taxes, let us choose who's going to be successful, and let's let that work. Let's let those processes work. Let's serve our neighbor. Let's see who does make a better bag of chicken, which obviously nobody can compete with Brooks, but, you know, let's see who can do these things. Let's lower taxes. All right. Did I finish my shout out to the millennials? All right, you guys are here. Some of you guys are taking up farming. Some of you guys are looking to the future. I think that's important. What's that? All right, that one I'm not posting. Anyway, so guys, when it comes to upstate New York, we have an opportunity to have an impact. And we saw an impact again. I'm going to probably get repetitive, but we saw an impact this week. We saw a guy, my competitor, take a stand. I didn't think his stand was that strong, but I feel like some of you guys helped me force him to take a stand, which is huge. And I'd like to see that keep going. So if this guy takes a stand because he's worried that he's going to be losing, yeah, we can talk about that too. But because he's losing traction with his Republican friends or whatever, or with his Republican base, and he takes a stand that at least appeals to us on some level, and he gets some guys back to work, some families back to work. Good. All right. But it's not enough. All right. Until they all admit that taxes are too high and we're overregulated. We haven't done enough, guys, and we got to do more. All right. So again, they're doing more. Check out what my address is. Maybe send me a couple bucks to help this campaign kick off. I'm going to do some advertising. If we can grow the numbers on the Senate page, that's going to be a good thing. We're going to make things happen. We're going to be perceived as a power. Okay. We're going to be a force to be negotiated with. We're going to be the wedge that breaks the Democrats and the Republicans apart from making these decisions that don't serve us. Does that make sense, guys? The first thing that we do if we want to split a piece of wood is we grab a wedge, right? The Libertarian Party is the wedge. More money wasted. Yeah, life enjoyed. Guys, these guys make some interesting decisions because they get free money from the state. What that does is keep them looking to the state for more free money. And that's not the answer, guys. We need to keep our government close to home. We need to serve our neighbor, and we need to do better there. Even the local government is shady. You know what, Jesse? I think that I'm very forgiving of our local government people because they're doing God's work, working for free. But hang on, I'm going to get to your point. Don't think I'm turning on you, because I'm not. All right. So they're doing God's work. They're working for free. They're working for a couple $1,000s. They're managing budgets. They're shuffling papers, and they're answering phone calls from people that want their roads fixed and they want a better, speed bump in front of their house. All right. But the fact that we're not shining a light on them, the fact that we're not in there participating as much as we should, allows them this opportunity to, who knows, running, buying a piece of property and letting somebody know that it's for sale. And guys, that's happened. Okay. So those are things that I want you guys to get involved in. That's why I'm running for Senate. This is a big job. I don't think that I can win. I don't think as a libertarian I'm going to get enough votes. I'm not saying that I won't, but I'm saying we got a tough road to hoe. So, but if we work together, we make an impact. We're going to keep seeing these guys come up with better plans to serve our communities. All right. They're going to realize taxes are too high, regulations are too burdensome, and we need to make an impact on those guys. We need to get them listening. So, yeah. Okay, so give me another one. Are you saying in Coventry that the maybe the town board members have lower rates of taxes? They don't have to run. They know how much they would get paid. Right. But I want them to, I actually, and this, follow me through with this. I want them to pay themselves more. I want that local money that comes from my taxes to go to serve the people that are serving on those boards, on those practically volunteer positions. And the reason why is because that's going to make it interesting for younger people to get involved. And they're going to get in there and they're going to argue passionately for what they want. And I think that's important. So I get it. Like, they get a little bit of money. We look at them with a little, like, squirrely eye because they maybe are not serving us as well as we'd like. But let's take a minute to think about it and forgive them and realize that if we get in there and help them serve our communities better, even if we up the pay scale for them, that brings economic opportunity from our taxes back to our communities. And because if you want to check out Localization is Everything, you can check out Adam Kokesh. He talks about it all the time. And he's a presidential candidate from the Libertarian Party. So localization. You guys are going to hear me preach on that. You're going to hear me talk about that. The more that we accept that we have rights and responsibilities as individuals in our communities, the more we're going to be able to build a better, successful governing system. And we're not always going to be looking to the state for answers. Yeah. So let's talk about discounts on our land. Guys, we have a crisis in our volunteer fire services in upstate New York, all over the place, guys. Because kids are leaving, I don't understand why we can't do something and we can. All right. Sorry, I said that wrong. We can do something to influence them to stay. We can make their property taxes cheaper. Okay. We can help them get invested in property here. And if they do that, our volunteer fire services, our volunteer EMTs, it's going to be more interesting for them. And again, everything I'm talking about, this localization strategy, is to make it more interesting for people, younger people, to stay in upstate New York. So think about what I'm saying and think about why I'm saying it. We need the future of upstate New York, young people, to stay here and do the job. Now, why are they leaving? It's economic opportunity, man. It's not the weather, even though the weather's horrible tonight. But it's economic opportunity, guys. That's why our schools are shrinking. That's why our schools are closing. And so let's move on to reimagining education. And I want to talk to my teacher friends for a second. I have a lot of respect for the work you do. I have a lot of respect for the effort you put in. But guys, you guys helped get Cuomo elected, your unions and the promises of more state aid to help run our schools. And so, and I know a lot of you guys didn't particularly like Cuomo, and I respect you for that. And guys, give me an angry face for that. I understand it. Okay. I know a lot of my teacher friends do not like Cuomo. Okay. But his reimagining education and what it looks to be, what he seems to be talking about, is maybe lessening teachers' impacts on students' lives. And as a libertarian, that is not my reimagining education. I do think that there is a problem with pace. I do think that there's a problem with serving the wide amount of interest that kids may have, and the goal of teaching to the middle and the goal of teaching a test. And if we think that's going to change, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to change with Bill Gates getting involved in this. Guys, Bill Gates brought us Common Core. So Mayor Cuomo reaching out to him to help him reimagine New York education and the old model. Believe me, guys, he's not looking to, I don't know. He's not looking to serve the teachers, guys, and I don't know that he ever really did. He did threaten your pensions when it was time for the possible New York State convention to rewrite the Constitution. He definitely did that, and it definitely was effective. You guys definitely got behind him on that. Not all of you, I understand, but that is real. That's what happened. So if a libertarian was to reimagine education, right, the schools would still, because they're already here, the schools would still be in use. The administration costs would be driven down. And whatever that takes, that's an important thing to do. The answering and begging and looking to the state for more state aid and to find millionaires and billionaires and ultra millionaires to tax to balance that budget, to get more money into the schools. Guys, that's not the answer, man. We got to put some of the school opportunity back into the communities. We've got to help make our communities stronger through uses of the school. We've got to reimagine education in a way that benefits our communities. And I'm not saying that you don't. You benefit our communities by teaching our kids. That's great. But at some point, we have to take a look at how does that work. I'm going to put that right up, Michael. I imagine an education system where one size does not fit all, and all the local school boards administrators get to choose what career. Yeah, that's what I talk about when I'm talking about pace. Pace. There's students that are traveling faster through learning. There's students that are traveling slower through learning, and that's okay. Somehow this reinventing education can cover that through use of the internet. But if we totally get rid of our teachers and get rid of our schools, we lost something. We lost a big something. And that's not what I want to have happen. I want a seat at the table. The way to give me a seat at the table is support my Senate candidacy, guys. So, yeah, exactly. So the administration costs, as we see everywhere, that is one of the drags on what's happening in upstate New York. That's one of the things that's chasing people away. And it's all over. So, guys, do you have any? You should post a link to get more. Yeah, I should. I don't know how. I am so not technologically savvy, Jesse. I don't even know where to go with that. I'm just here talking to people that want to listen to me, and that's great. Teachers teach. Let teachers teach. Right. Stop teaching a test. So how do we solve that if we get Bill Gates involved, who brought the whole concept of teaching a test to our schools? Guys, if we don't mobilize, if we don't figure out a way to get rid of Andrew Cuomo, and man, I hope he runs for president. Honestly, I hope Joe Biden steps down and Andrew Cuomo, because at least that way he's out of New York State's hair. He does not take care of communities. He does not understand. He knows that if you have big piles of money, people are going to beg you for those big piles of money. And so that's how he governs. In other states, each county has an administrator for all the schools in it, which equates to like the superintendents, so that our superintendent costs would go down. I think that would be a great step in the right direction. As a state senator, I would advocate for that kind of planning. I feel very sad for my teachers when an entire school closes down, when a whole community loses 40 or 50 jobs. That is what's going to happen in Skenevus, and that's going to devastate that community, guys. And we can't blame the teachers. We got to blame our economy. Our economy is dying. We have answers to the economy that we're ignoring. We could grow marijuana. We could grow hemp. We have land that's being unused, and because they want to attach a taxation revenue stream to it, and they want to write regulations that benefit a big business coming in here and growing marijuana and hemp. That's why it hasn't happened. That's why we're not fully invested in it. That's a problem. So look, guys, I'm going to go ahead and again, probably going to cut it a little short tonight unless I get a bunch of questions, but help me grow access at the Senate page. Send me a couple bucks because that is going to be able to amplify my reach. And I think, again, we saw some success this week at Otsego County. We got a guy going to the governor because he's scared of losing some of the people that are listening to me. And I think that's great, guys. We can continue to grow that impact. But to do that, you're going to have to think about getting rid of your party affiliation or joining the Libertarian Party. There's one big administrator, and it lowers the costs of the overall administration cost. They get rid of the actual superintendent. They have one superintendent for a bigger district, 5, 6, 7 schools. Then they still have their principals. They still have people that organize stuff at the local level. But it creates a excuse me, it lowers the impact of these big $180,000, $200,000 salaries that these local schools are paying. Yeah, there we go. So it lowers the impact, it lowers administrative costs. And guys, have you seen your school bill lately? I mean, we need to do something. Your school tax bills are hard. Sorry, guys. My buddy Vic is in the audience, and he's got a good comment. The more layers, the more the cost. The more local, the more the layers. I get it, but that's buying into the existing model. Cuomo said he's going to reinvent education, Vic. So let's reinvent it in a way that benefits our communities. And again, buddy, your experience where you are is slightly different than our experience where we are. Our schools, our local community schools are they're actually, because they're so expensive, they're hurting the communities. They're not helping them. And because our population is shrinking and because our kids are leaving, again, our schools are becoming this focal point or this problem point where we need to find solutions. And I don't want the solutions to be put your kid in front of a computer, then throw them on a bus for a couple hours like that. I want our teachers to find a way to help make this be successful. So I want less layers and I want less administrative costs where we're beating up on the community with stuff like that. Oklahoma is so many states and so many other areas are so far ahead of New York State. There's states that actually, guys, in this, they presume shared custody. When two parents are fighting, there are states where shared custody is the presumption. Check with your lawyer if that's how it is in New York, because it isn't, okay? All right. And so New York pretends to be some sort of bellwether state where people are looking to us for guidance. And we're so far behind the curve, especially when the downstate reality and the upstate reality are so substantially different. We're so far behind the curve that it doesn't even, we almost need a separate government for upstate. More screen time is not the answer. In a sense, Mom, and that's my mom, guys. Say hi to my mom. All right. And she supports the Black Gold Project. If you want to know more about that, let me know. Guys, if you want some free fertilizer for your garden, get at me. Send me a PM. We'll, depending on how much you want, just let me know. We're going to work that out. Schools are important for socialization for children. Socialization is important for children. Now, are there other ways of handling that? Maybe. Okay, but so we have our community centers. Our schools are our community centers, and that's important to remember. But the impact on our communities is also important. Okay, so the economic impact of high taxes is a real problem. So more screen time isn't the answer, but if it can help a kid hit what would be a special interest that's not available in the school, then maybe screen time is the answer, right? So let's say your grandson wants to be a computer programmer, and for him to get actual really good experience computer programming, he can sit at a computer at home as easily as he can at school to learn more about computer programming. And there may be ways to learn how to offer that stuff to our kids. And I think that's one of the things when I'm challenging us to reimagine education. We need to talk about pace. We need to talk about teaching tests and how those things don't serve all of the kids. Pace is a thing that each kid has his own pace that he's going to absorb information at. And so if we're going to reimagine education, let's reimagine it in a way that benefits upstate New York communities, guys. And again, to do that, I need a seat at the table. I need help. I need support. I need a couple bucks here and there. And I need people to come to my New York State Senate website, because when I do start advertising, if I have a huge base there, then that advertising that I do is going to be amplified. So quick little shout out, my buddy Josh Wenger at Warrior Ethos Farms. He's still taking orders for beef that's going to be ready in July. I met a guy up in Cortland, and I wish I had his information. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to look for his information. He raises pork and stuff like that. And I told him if I could offer him a shout out. Let's see if I can do it, guys. Nope, I can't. Anyways, Finch's Family Farm, 1490 McGraw Marathon Road, Marathon, New York. Guys, if you're out in Cortland and you want to have some food security, reach out to my buddy Dakota Finch. Now, Dakota and I may not agree on all of the things that are involved with politics. So that's okay. It doesn't matter. He's a millennial. He grew up in Sydney. And guys, he's doing the hard work of making a living in upstate New York. So reach out to him. Guys, a lot of you already know Dan Powers. I don't have his number tonight. So thanks, Mom. Anyways, I don't have Dan Powers' number available tonight, but he does raise beef. You can take an interest in his herd. You can buy yourself some food and fill your freezer with it. So look, guys, reach out to me on my Senate page. Reach out to me on my Facebook page. I'm about ready to call it a night. I want to thank you all for being here. And I want to reimagine education. I want to reimagine local governance. And I want a seat at the table. And you guys can help me do that. I want to thank you very much. And have a good evening. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Dakota and I were talking for about a half hour last night on Facebook Messenger. And guys, I am willing to do that. Right now, Jeff, check out what my address is. And if you can mail me a check, if we need to make other arrangements, I will figure that out for us. All right. And I appreciate that question. Yeah, millennial. You're the millennial. I'm the boomer. Ask my kids. All right. So guys, thank you very much. I saw a great number of people in the watching this, and guys, I'm so flattered by that. And I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I'm asking for a seat at the table of governance. I'm just a poor guy that worked hard his whole life, raised my family, coached kids, ran a golf tournament to raise money for a local charity. I'm just that guy, right? I just did those things, those simple little things to help make my community better. So some of these guys might want to ask what I did and what I do. I went to SUNY Binghamton. I lived my life in upstate New York the entire time, guys. My entire life spent in upstate New York. I've watched our children leave. I've watched our factories die. I've watched our community shrink. I've watched it. I know there's answers to turn that around. So again, drive people to my Senate page. Give me a like tonight. Give me an angry face. I don't care. All of those. I make a GoFundMe. I made one. I didn't get that much money from it, but I did okay. It was worth it. So guys, Ben, thank you. Patrick, thank you. We got to get our kids back wrestling. Guys, check this out. Excellence can come from anywhere. And right there is one of the places that excellence in upstate New York comes from. All right. The Gladiators, back when Steve was running it and now Nate is running it. Excellence can come out of a beat up garage that's 24 by 24 with 30-year-old mats. All right. We can make upstate New York better. We can solve problems in Senate District 51. And we can do it by serving our neighbor, and we can do it by having fun, guys. So thank you for joining this broadcast. Hey, Debbie, thank you for joining this broadcast. Check out some of my other stuff. Check out my interview with Larry Sharp. He is wonderful to talk to. more into motocross. Well, kids got to have their different things to do, man. But I'm just saying, excellence can come from upstate New York. We can bring it back. It was here when I was younger, man. I grew up a poor kid. I threw hay bales. I I was a lower decker. I've lived my whole life in upstate New York. We can bring this back, guys, but we just have to make sensible decisions. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Remember, drive your friends to my page, even if you don't think that they'll like me, because sometimes controversy is exactly what Facebook wants. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night. Enjoy your Friday. And trust me, I'll be back. Don't worry. Have a good evening.